Kingcayne.
All right, what's going on, y'all? Hey, one time I said, "What's up, G&G family?" I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of that. Like, I heard it after a while, and I was just like, "Nah, that's not it." But we'll keep it simple. We'll stick with what's going on, y'all. Hey, today's Gems and Gaming is about protecting your peace. Protecting your peace. I'm sure a lot of us needs to hear that specifically, but for me, I definitely need to remind myself of that concept of protecting your peace. I've heard a lot of advice regarding this, and some I agree with, some I disagree with. So I like to stick to the concept of the part that I feel is important for people to understand and recognize, which essentially, I don't want the advice of protecting your peace. I don't want people feeling like they absolutely need to, they need to give up something in order to protect their peace. I think the best advice that I heard about it essentially is about being certain to stay true to who you are and walking away from certain situations instead of things that I've heard, which is like, oh, that's the way the world is, or that's the way stuff works, it is what it is, etc., etc. Like, I'm not a fan of that advice, simply because, and I think I spoke about this before, but simply because the world tells you something, and the world says, hey, this is how something works, or this is how things should play out, etc., etc. It doesn't make it true, right? It doesn't make it right. And honestly, and I can't say that my advice is perfect or my advice is flawless. That's definitely not what I'm saying. That what I'm essentially trying to get across is that being true to who you are is a unique task for any individual, because we are all unique people. All right, we're all different. I just started career coaching, and a lot of the times when I start my sessions, what I'll do is I'll do like a personality test, right? And you'd be surprised that most people are surprised by the results that they get, because it's so accurate. They always feel like when they hear it, it's just like, oh my God, that's so me. Oh, yep, I do that for sure. Oh, yep, that's me, right? And they hear this advice, or excuse me, they hear this or the results of their personality test, and then they realize something very important, and they realize that they are unique. Like, they are not like everyone else. They are who they are, and they start to enjoy the fact once they learn about themselves, right? I've had some people who are extremely extroverted, barely introverted. I've had some people who are 50-50, but the outside world would, they would say, oh, there's no way you're like half extroverted, half introverted. You definitely are more extroverted. But, people are unique. And once you figure out a little bit more about who you are, I may do some videos regarding this on my Kane Creative page. That's my business page that I started. But, I may go a little bit more about personalities and how who you are is unique to you, and then the different types of personalities, but understanding that concept that every individual has their own unique personality traits and own unique quirks, weaknesses, strengths, etc. How you find your peace is going to be different from how I find my peace. That's just the facts. We're not going to find peace the exact same way. We're just not. So for example, I'm the type, after a long week, I just need absolute silence. Like, I can be with Kelly, my wife, but for the most part, I'm not trying to go out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be friends or make new friends or anything like that. Like, I'm trying to have a nice, quiet weekend, silent weekend. Whether I'm reading a book or playing a game or watching TV, whatever the case may be, I just need to recharge. There are some people, and I found this out in these personality tests, after a long week, they need to be around other people. Crazy, right? Like, I know, I think that's weird too. but truthfully, not everyone feels that way. Truthfully, not everyone feels like it's an issue going out. They actually prefer it. They prefer to have, they prefer to recharge by other people's energy. Other people make them recharge. It's all about your personality. It doesn't make someone wrong for doing it. It might make them different from you, but it's not wrong. That's their personality. We're all born a certain type of way. Now, what happens in a situation where you have no choice but to be faced with the things that you don't like, right? The things that in your that are inherently to you just aggravating, just like a pet peeve, like something that you absolutely don't like. Remember, we're all unique, so we all have those things. How do you make sure you protect your peace in those scenarios? Don't revert, and what I mean by this is don't try to be something that you're not because you're not a fan of the situation at hand. In fact, understand a little bit more about your strengths and weaknesses and identify when to walk away from a certain situation. I'm the type to keep it real with people. If I see something going south, like, I'm gonna tell people, like, yo, this is the issue and this is why the issue is. A lot of people aren't equipped, not a lot, but I've ran into quite a few people that aren't equipped to hear such harsh criticism. Whether true or not, whether I'm spitting facts or not everyone is with that, honesty, especially from people they don't trust. I'm the type, it doesn't matter. I don't care if I know you or not. Like, I'm gonna say how I feel, because I think it'll be beneficial. That's not always a great mentality to have, even if I am right, because also in that personality test that I'm describing, some people, they communicate through their feelings. They don't, like, logic is great and they understand it, but their innate reaction is how they feel inside. So I could be spitting mad facts, but if I make someone feel like garbage in the process, they're not going to try to hear that, right? And that's part of human nature. That's a part of growing and learning how to communicate with certain people. So when you identify what it is that bothers you, and then you're faced with that situation, these are tests for you to figure out how do you remain true to who you are and protect your peace. Right? One thing I would suggest, one thing I would suggest is finding a personality test if you can take one. There are some free ones and there are some that you have to pay for, but just learn a little bit more about who you are. I always do it whenever I meet a new client, and they're always satisfied. So far, I haven't ran into the person yet who is like completely who's not happy about learning more about themselves. So based off my experience and the results that I've seen, maybe that's something you should try. Just figure out, do you really know everything about yourself, your personality? Okay, now you start to identify who you are. You start to own who you are a little bit more. A few weeks ago, I said you have purpose, so now you start to invest more into who you are, invest more into yourself. I figured that was gonna happen. Now you can. Now you're identifying where you're strong at, where you're weak at. Now it's so much easier for you to walk away to certain situations because off rip you can identify, this ain't good for me because I'm about to go off on Karen or Harold or whoever, right? I see certain, especially when you work in corporate, there are gonna be emails coming through or people saying slick remarks all the time. Bro, you just gotta let that junk ride, man. Cause truth be told, at the end of the day, whenever you at a business or a function or a place, you're there for a specific reason. You're there for, you're not there to fool around or, if you're on your grind and you're trying to get bread, protect yourself, protect your fam, like, you're not there for any foolishness, right? So if that's the case, it's going to be people there who are essentially, how my bishop said it, are just barking dogs, right? When dogs bark, they're not doing it at your detriment. They're doing it to protect whatever it is they're protecting. So they're an alarm system. They're pretty much just, they're not there for you. They're there for them. So I'm sure people like that. I'm sure there are plenty of people that that are not there for your detriment alone, but they're there simply to alert the bosses or just cause a distraction, right? If that's the case, and if they're there just to cause a distraction, then don't allow yourself to sit there and take time out to communicate with this dog that's literally just there to distract you. For what? Why do such a thing? This battle is going to be a lot longer than I foresaw before starting this. Pharaoh Thorn is a issue for me because of who I came equipped with, but it's all good. It's all good. Here, I'll give another example. I'm faced with interacting with a lot of people on a daily basis. Typically, the only time I really have to myself, essentially this when I'm doing gyms and gaming, but also just, I guess, mainly like Saturdays, really, when I'm not working. If I'm not working. But, because I'm faced with a lot of people, I'm faced with a lot of different personality types, and people don't realize that when they do a certain action or say a certain thing, they're impacting how other people, and they don't necessarily realize this because, just people aren't always aware, right? And that's fine, it is what it is. So if you know that people aren't always going to be aware, if I'm telling you that in my day where I'm interacting with a lot of people are honestly sent to test you and they're going to test you, you now need to know whenever you interact with somebody, like, yo, I got to make sure this is protecting my peace. If it's not protecting my peace, then it's not for me. And if it's not for me, then if it's not for the thing I've been investing in, then I'm not going to spend time on it. Remember the currencies that I don't know if I was talking about this in gyms and gaming, but you got to remember there are 3 currencies that you really should be paying attention to. And I ain't talking about, US dollars, Australian dollars, Japanese yen, or what is it, Chinese yuan, or whatever. I'm not talking about that. Costa Rican colones. I'm not like none of that. Like, yeah, that's cool. That is one of the concept of money. That is one of the things you should pay attention to because it's how you survive and provide for your fam. But what about your time? Your time is the one thing that every single human being on this earth has equal of. Every single one. Every alive human being has equal of. Every single one. right? That doesn't mean, yeah, I'm not saying that some people don't get more than others in this course of their life, but in this, as long as we're breathing, we all got the exact same time. The exact same time, and that's facts. Why, why does that matter? Because if you considered your time like you did your actual money, then how you invest that time is essentially how you invest that money, right? So if you're investing your time and your distractions and these barking dogs and things that don't benefit you, and someone else is investing all of their time in things that does benefit them, then who is going to win in the long run in that situation? Clearly the person that's been investing time in themselves, right? So if you see something that is not helping you focus or not helping you invest in yourself, then you're seeing something, or you're participating in something that's not protecting your peace. And you'll only find your peace by finding out who you are, investing in said thing, and not allowing distractions to keep you off your path. I'm not saying this is easy. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, all you gotta do is, if you just did this one thing, nah. I know it ain't that easy. Don't let me, don't let me say it like it ain't nothing. Like this isn't a difficult task to grasp. It is difficult. I know it is. I'm not a fool. I only bring it up because I find myself in these situations often where I need to get uncomfortable sometimes just to be comfortable, right? I unfortunately I have to let people know sometimes, like, hey, this isn't beneficial, and here's why it's not beneficial. Dang, I didn't know that. And not everyone likes hearing, like I said, not everyone likes hearing that harsh or that blunt truth, that directness. And I understand that sometimes, so I'm very aware of how I come across when I speak to people. So I always try to tread lightly. But in certain scenarios, I'm not allowed to tread lightly, because if I do, then I'm not doing the one thing that I'm describing on this concept, which is protecting my peace. Right? Like if what I essentially would be doing if I allow someone to throw me off my square, to distract me, to not help me, to not help me or benefit me in any way. If I allow someone to do that, I'm hurting the most important person that I should be focusing on, which is myself. Right? Focusing on, not benefiting. Right? I'm not saying the only person you should benefit is yourself. That's not what I'm saying. But the person that I should be focusing on is me, because I'm the only person that I can control. So if I allow a distraction to throw me off that and not allow me to focus on myself, I'm not protecting my peace. Right? So sometimes I have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. It's unfortunate that that's the way the world is, but you can't always be you can't always be the person that just lets stuff slide, or you're okay with things being how they are. You can't always do that, like, because then you're not even growing, right? You're not even figuring out how to handle tough situations or tough conversations. All right, like tough conversations are going to happen. Like, it is what it is. Like, that doesn't. I'm not saying that's cool, or I'm not saying it doesn't suck. It definitely sucks. But sometimes you got to do it, and if you don't do it, nobody's gonna have that tough conversation for you. Or if you don't walk away, even when all the signs are telling you to stay, not signs, but everyone is telling you to stay, or everyone is telling you to just endure that. Sometimes you gotta be the bigger person and be like, you know what, yo, I'm out. I'm out, bro. I'm walking away. Real talk. Real talk. Because no one is gonna do that for you. No one is gonna do that for you. Trust me. If someone did that for you, that'd be great. You know, if you had that person in your life, that's fantastic. Or if you had that benefit in your life, that's fantastic. Not everyone does. So for the people that doesn't have that person that's going to step in for you, and okay, this is super aggy. This, if y'all are not just listening but watching this has to be what it's like when you're fighting on let's say you're an enemy and you're fighting somebody in a JRPG and they just keep healing themselves. Like they just keep using potions the whole fight. That has to be the worst feeling, bro. This guy is absolutely aggravating. But anyway, I'm glad we're seeing something that's aggravating as we talk about protecting our peace. Because you know, now I mean this is the perfect example, right? In this situation, what can I do? I can just get mad and yell and scream and this sucks. I could do that, yeah. Or I could just, you know, chill out and just enjoy the journey. It's literally just a game, right? And you know, I guess a lot of us don't do that. A lot of us don't enjoy the journey. And that's probably what it is about, you know, protecting your peace. Like they're just you know, if bad things happen to you, which they will, and it's okay. You can think about that thing or let that thing dictate the rest of your day, or you can reshape your mindset, try something different, and then move forward. Because that's all we can do is move forward. I'm not saying move on. I'm not saying, you know, things gonna get better. I'm not saying forget the past or nothing like that. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying moving forward is the best thing to do. However you need to do that, figure it out. But all I'm saying is make sure that you do that. All right. I may do quite a few convos on protecting your peace because I know this isn't, you know, where I was talking about a concept. This isn't like as much as I'm teaching people, you know, all of the different techniques and trips or anything like that. Just the concept alone is something that I feel confident talking about today, but maybe in the future what I'll do is like I don't know. Maybe I'll just give different tips and tricks on how I had to overcome certain adversity and just maintain my the best I can, trying to maintain my peace. I'm not perfect at it at all. I screw up just like everyone, right? So you know, I say that to say I'm far from perfect. Like most of us, right? But yeah, you know, I do much better than I used to. So as I'm getting better and hopefully telling other people that they also can grow and they also can get through certain things, you know, hopefully it helps people along the way. But in the future, I'll get a lot more organized with half of these things that I'm saying. Like right now, I'm just freestyling, but I'm gonna get real organized with some of these things. With that said, you guys should really check out not Gems and Game. You should really check out Video Game Dump Volume 10. I worked super hard on it. I work super hard on it. Video Game Dump is essentially a compilation of different like games that I played with friends. we have some good times, right? Like I said, I'm getting older. My friends getting older. We don't have as much time anymore. We're not like full-time YouTubers or gamers or anything like that. So when we finally have free time, like we'll hop on. But it's always a good time, always. Like so I might invest a little bit more into some different avenues right now, but Video Game Dump Volume 10 is just pretty much a thank you of for everyone that's watched so far, for anyone that's kicked it with me and likes my content. It's a finale for this season, sort of say. What I'll do is I'll invest a little bit more into it in the future. 2023 most likely, I'll say season 2 of Video Game Dump will come out, so we'll probably have some more content by then. But for the most part, I gotta focus on a couple things. So right now, this is where it'll end, sort of say, for now. Man, I am slightly nervous because I'm pretty sure it's okay. It's okay. I was just gonna say I'm pretty sure that my Toga Kiss is about to lose this round, but it's all right. I got 2 turns out of this, so that's fine. But anyway, yeah, y'all gotta check out Gems and Gaming. It's super Gems and Gaming. Y'all gotta check out Video Game Dump. It's very entertaining. Trust me, I enjoy it, and I criticize myself probably as heavy as people who watch. So check it out. I think it's a good time. If people make it through this video, that's awesome. I'm very curious on what y'all think. Like, is this stuff helpful? Do y'all vibe with a lot of these concepts? Have y'all seen improvements and things, and in your life, etc. If so, let me know. I'm legitimately curious. If I need to improve on something, I want to know that too. I'm just all about getting. Oh wow, I wouldn't have wasted that if I knew. That's crazy. I'm all about getting better. So if it's some feedback, definitely let me know. I'm curious about it. You can check out my Kingcayne page too. What I do is I tell stories at like different corporate events that have happened to me, just different stories in general. I took on this new alias called the Growth Griot, and the concept of the growth, what a griot is, it's a no way. A griot is essentially a storyteller, derived from West African culture. A griot's, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. They really let this thing protect twice. I had the perfect setup too. That's wild. A griot is from West African culture, tells stories that pass on from generation to generation. Is essentially meant to help anyone that listens and hears the stories. So I took on this alias of the Growth Griot. So what I essentially just want to do is just tell various stories of real life events. Just keep it like podcast, but keep it interesting. You know what I mean? Keep it fresh and exciting. I don't normally, I don't normally, I might lose this one. I don't normally oh my God. That's crazy. I don't get as creative as I should. Right? It's something that I'm working on. So I want to express myself a lot better, like in other content, like my Kingcayne page. I'm gonna start investing in. Like I'm gonna get better essentially at producing some dope content. At least in my head, I believe I'm gonna get better at it. I'm not gonna cap to y'all. I think I'm about to lose this one, and if so, that'll be the first time in a long time that I lost. Yep. This is the first time in a long time that I lost, which is cool. Without some level of adversity, it wouldn't be fun. You know, if I won all the time, it wouldn't be fun. I'm just very competitive, so it's like I'm gonna be thinking about this for the rest of the day for sure. For sure. Can I win? I mean, maybe. You know what would have to happen? They would have to miss. And he's not going to. So yeah, I took that L. Ah, that sucks. That's all good. We'll get better and better. Y'all check me out. Check out the other videos. I hope this was, somewhat helpful. Be sure to protect your peace. Yeah, so y'all have a good one.